My child, you are already late to this, and you know it deep inside. You have felt it in the quiet moments when the noise fades and your heart grows uneasy. You have felt it when you tell yourself you will deal with things later, yet later comes. I am not saying this to shame you. I am saying it because truth spoken now can still save what delay has been slowly taking from you. You have run longer than you should have. You have postponed what mattered most. And even as you tried to convince yourself that everything was fine, something in you kept whispering that time was slipping away. That whisper was not fear. It was awareness. It was me calling you before the distance became too great. Stop everything right now and put this first. Not because I need your attention, but because your soul needs it. You have given your best energy to things that cannot love you back. You have poured your strength into surviving days instead of tending to your heart. You keep moving because stopping feels dangerous, because stopping might force you to feel what you have been avoiding. But I am asking you to stop because movement without direction slowly becomes loss. Time has been slipping through your hands. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. One distracted moment at a time. And now I am stepping in. Not to scold you, but to wake you. I know the real you now, not the version you show others, not the version you use to get through the day. I know the one you hide when the lights go out. I know the thoughts you never speak. I know the fears you bury beneath productivity. I know the regrets you carry silently, hoping no one ever asks the wrong question. I know the way you pretend you are fine when you are not. And still I am here knowing you fully has not pushed me away. It has drawn me closer. You have tried to hide parts of yourself even from me. You told yourself I would not understand. You feared that if I saw everything, I would turn away. My child, there has never been a moment when I did not see you completely. Hiding did not protect you from my sight. It only kept you from my peace. The parts you conceal are the very places I long to heal. The truths you avoid are the doors through which freedom enters. I am not exposing you to hurt you. I am revealing you to save you. This is not appearing by chance. I need you to hear that without doubt. You did not stumble into this moment. You were led here by a love that refuses to give up on you. A love that has watched you drift and waited patiently for the right moment to speak again. This is a warning, yes, but it is wrapped in love because love cares enough to warn. Love does not stay silent while someone it cherishes walks toward emptiness. Love steps in even when it risks being rejected. If you are seeing this, you are standing at your last chance to respond in this way, in this moment with this awareness. Do not misunderstand me. I am not saying I will stop loving you if you ignore this. My love does not expire, but moments do. Awareness does. Windows of clarity do. There are times when the heart is open enough to hear truth, and times when it closes itself, just to survive. You are at a point where the heart can still turn. That is why this feels heavy. That is why this feels urgent. Not because doom is near, but because opportunity is. Do not ignore this, because what you do next will shape everything that follows. Not all at once. Not instantly, but direction is set by response. You have reached a place where choosing nothing is no longer neutral. Remaining where you are will cost you something precious. Even if the cost is paid slowly and quietly, I am not threatening you. I am respecting you enough to tell you the truth. Life does not stand still while you decide. It moves and it moves you with it. You have told yourself that you still have time, that you will change when things settle, that you will put me first when life becomes easier. But life rarely becomes easier on its own. It becomes clearer when you choose what matters most. You feel late because you are late not in worth, not in love, but in attention. Your heart have been waiting for you to return to it. I have been waiting with it. I see how tired you are. Tired of pretending. Tired of carrying everything alone. Tired of feeling like something is missing even when your days are full. A tiredness is not failure, it is a signal that you were not created to live disconnected from truth, from purpose, from me. You have been living off fragments when fullness has always been available. I know you are afraid of what putting this first might cost you, afraid of what you might have to let go of, afraid of who you might have to become. But hear me carefully, my child. Anything you lose by choosing life was already draining you. Anything that must be released was never meant to carry your future. I am not here to strip you of joy. I am here to return it. This moment feels intense because it is honest. There is no performance here. No applause, no hiding place, just you and truth, just you and love speaking plainly. I am not asking you to fix yourself. I am asking you to stop running, to stop pretending that delay has no cost. You feel late because your soul knows it has been calling out for attention longer than your mind wants to admit. I know the excuses you use. I know the reasons you give yourself. I know how convincing they sound. But I also know what happens when a heart keeps choosing comfort over calling. The light does not go out suddenly. It fades slowly, and you begin to live beneath what you were created for. I am interrupting you now because I refuse to watch that happen without reaching for you again. You may feel exposed right now. That is not danger. That is the beginning of freedom. Exposure in my presence does not lead to rejection. It leads to healing. I already know everything you are afraid to admit, and I am still here, still calling you my child, still inviting you closer. Say, Father, heal my heart and make me whole. If you long for His restoration, this is your moment to put this first and tomorrow, not after one more distraction. Now, because now is when your heart is listening. Now is when truth still stirs you. Now is when response can still change direction. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for honesty, for willingness, for a single step toward me instead of another step away. My child, do not harden yourself against this urgency. Let it soften you instead. Let it bring you back to what matters. You are late, yes, but you are not lost. You are exposed, but you are not condemned. You are warned, but you are deeply loved. This is not chance. This is mercy meeting you where you are, and what you do next will matter more than you know. My child, you are late and you know it. I am not saying this with anger in my voice, and I am not saying it to wound you. I am saying it because your spirit already feels the truth of it. Even if your mind has tried to avoid it, you have sensed it in the quiet moments when everything slowed down. You have sensed it when you told yourself you would deal with important things later, and later kept moving farther away. You feel it now because delay has weight, and that weight has been pressing on your heart. This is not condemnation. This is awareness, and awareness is mercy. I know how this happened. It did not happen all at once. You did not wake up one day and decide to drift. You simply kept choosing later. Later when you had more time. Later when you felt stronger. Later when life was less demanding. Later when you felt more ready. Each time it sounded reasonable. Each time it felt harmless. But later after later slowly became distance. Distance between what you knew was true and what you were living. Distance between your heart and the still voice calling you back. You did not mean for it to happen, but it did. Please support our channel. Our mission is to bring peace, happiness, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish to help us continue this work, you can kindly show your support by donating through Super Thanks. You felt it before you understood it. That subtle unease that followed you even on good days. The quiet sense that something important was being postponed. You tried to silence it by staying busy. You filled your hour so you would not have to listen to your heart asking hard questions. You told yourself you were just tired, just overwhelmed, just going through a phase. But deeper than all of that, your spirit knew. You were late to what mattered most. I want you to hear me clearly. Now, I am not accusing you. I am not standing over you with disappointment. I am standing in front of you with truth, because truth is the doorway back to life. I know why you delayed. I know how heavy things became. I know how quickly days turned into weeks and weeks into seasons. I know how easily the urgent replaced the important. I know how survival took the place of intention. None of that surprises me. None of that makes me turn away from you. But my child, delay has already happened, and pretending otherwise will not heal you. You feel late because something inside you knows you have been living beneath what you were created for. You have been giving your attention to everything except your soul. You have been responding to every demand except the quiet call to return. And each time you said later, a small space opened between us. Not because I stepped back, but because you kept moving forward without me. You did not fall. You drifted, and drifting is dangerous because it feels gentle. There is no sudden pain to warn you and no loud crash to wake you up. Just a slow movement away from clarity, away from peace, away from alignment. You looked up one day and realized you were farther than you meant to be. That realization is not your enemy. It is your invitation. I see the way you try to justify the delay. You remind yourself of everything you have been through. You tell yourself you needed time. You tell yourself you were doing your best, and in many ways, you were. But honesty requires you to see that there were moments when you could have turned back and chose not to. Moments when you felt me tug at your heart and you pushed the feeling aside. Moments when you knew what I was asking and decided to wait. That waiting did not keep you safe. It kept you distant. My child, awareness hurts at first because it exposes what we have avoided. But awareness also heals because it brings things into the light. You are not late beyond hope. You are late enough to feel the urgency, but not too late to respond. That is why I am speaking now. If this were condemnation, you would feel crushed. Instead, you feel awakened, unsettled, stirred. At stirring is life calling you back. I know you fear that being late means you have failed. It does not. It means you are human. It means you tried to carry too much on your own. It means you underestimated how quickly distance can grow when attention shifts. Failure would be refusing to see it now. Failure would be hardening your heart against this truth. But you are still listening. It tells me everything I need to know about you. You kept saying later because later felt safer than now. Now would have required change. Now would have required honesty. Now would have required you to face what you had been avoiding. Later felt easier because it postponed discomfort. But later also postponed healing. Later postponed peace. Later postponed the life you were meant to live. And now later has brought you here. Feeling late, feeling exposed, feeling the weight of time. My child, do not confuse firmness with rejection. I am speaking firmly because this matters. Because your life matters, because your heart matters. Love speaks gently when it can, and firmly when it must. I am not angry with you for being late. I am concerned for you because staying late too long can make delay feel normal. And I do not want you to accept distance as your default. You have been telling yourself that you would come back when you felt more worthy, more disciplined, more consistent. But returning was never about earning. It was always about turning your attention, turning your heart, turning your direction. You did not need to fix yourself before conning back. You only needed to stop running. I see how tired you are from carrying the weight of delay, from knowing something was off, but not though to face it, from sensing urgency without clarity. That exhaustion is not a sign that you should give up. It is a sign that you were not meant to do this alone. You were not meant to live disconnected from me. Even if you learned how to survive that way, my child, this is awareness, not accusation. This is truth, not punishment. You are late, yes, but you are still wanted, still seen, still called, still loved. I am not here to tell you what you have lost. I am here to show you what can still be restored, but restoration begins with honesty. And honesty begins by admitting what you already feel. You feel ache because you are standing at a moment that asks for response. Tomorrow. Not after one more delay. Now this is not pressure meant to crush you. It is clarity meant to guide you. I am not pushing you away by naming the delay. I am pulling you closer by inviting you to stop pretending it did not happen. Look at me, my child. Not at your past, not at your excuses, not at your fear of change. Look at me. I am here still speaking, still reaching, still calling you by name. You are late, but you are not abandoned. You are aware, and that awareness is the beginning of return. Stay here. Listen. Let this truth do its work in you. We are not finished yet. My child, put this first right now, not later, not after you finish one more task, not after you settle one more problem. Right now. I am asking you this because everything else has already been first for too long, and your soul has been pushed to the very bottom of the list. You feel the cost of that, even if you have not had words for it. You wake up tired, even after rest. You move through your days full but empty. You accomplish things but feel no peace when you stop. That is not because you are weak. It is because your soul has been starving, while everything else was being fed. I see how work took first place, not because you loved it, but because you had to survive. You told yourself you would slow down once things were stable. You told yourself this pressure was temporary. But survival became your normal, and your heart learned to live on leftovers. I see how people took first place, their needs, their expectations, their opinions. You learned to show up for everyone even when it cost you pieces of yourself. You did not want to disappoint them. You did not want to be seen as selfish. So you kept giving even when nothing was refilling you. I see how distractions took first place. The constant noise, the endless scrolling, the filling of every quiet space so you would not have to feel how empty it had become inside. You did not choose distraction because you were careless. You chose it because silence felt too heavy. In silence, your soul would speak, and you did not know how to answer it anymore. So you filled your life with movement and noise and small comforts, hoping they would be enough. And slowly, without meaning to, you placed your soul last. Not because you thought it was unimportant, but because everything else felt urgent. Bills were urgent, responsibilities were urgent, expectations were urgent. Your soul felt patient, like it couldn't wait. But my child, your soul was never meant to live on delay. It was meant to live on connection. When it is ignored, it does not scream at first. It starves quietly. And that is what you are feeling now. But this first, right now, because this moment cannot be an afterthought. This cannot be something you squeeze in if you have time. If you wait until it feels convenient, it will never happen. There will always be another demand, another message, another task, another reason to postpone what matters most. I am asking you to choose differently. No. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels selfish, even if it disrupts your routine. If you love me, please like, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.